Shir is dedicated to Nishmas Rachelea Bas Rav Chaim Tzvi. Okay, we've been discussing Malach of Kotev. What I'd like to do today in this shir is really start to get into the Halach L'Maisa. Perhaps we'll finish all of Halach L'Maisa, but we also want to make sure we also cover the Malacha of Mochek on a Halach L'Maisa basis, because the two Malachos are very much brother-sister Malachos. And we will begin with a very, very important Gemara, which the poskim will use to illustrate and highlight very, very important issues Halach L'Maisa. The Gemara is found in Maseches Shabbos, and Daf Kuf Dalid Amud Beis. And the Mishnah tells us the following. The Mishnah is towards the top of the page, and the Mishnah says that if you write Al Shnei Kosle Zavios Ve'al Shnei Luche Pinkas Ve'hein Nehegin Ze Im Ze Chayv. If you write on two walls or on two tablets and they are touching one another, meaning there's a relationship between this letter and that letter, so then the halacha is you're going to be chayv. And the Gemara then explains that this is true if they are negin zemzeh, if they're touching each other. The Gemara says, what about the following? Amar Rav Ami, kosav os achas b'teveria. If you write one letter in Teveria, v'achas b'tzipori, and one letter in a different town called Tzipori, chayv. You'll be chayiv for that writing. After all, ksivahi, that's called writing. You wrote two letters, therefore you're going to be chayiv. Ella shemechusar kreva. All you're missing is that they're not near each other, not connected to each other. All you have to do is connect them, but in principle you wrote two letters. Says the Gemara. However, we learned that's not, he quotes a Mishnah, that kosav al shnei kosle abayis, va'al shnei dape pinkas, ve'ein negin zemzeh. In other words, our Mishnah says if you write on the two walls and they're touching, you write on the two tablets and they're touching, then you're going to be chai. By implication, very clearly, if they're not negin zemzeh, if they're not in contact with each other, then the halacha is you're going to be pater. For example, I'm sitting here in a room, and if I write one letter on this wall to my right, and another letter on this wall to my left, the two letters are not touching each other. In that case, the implication is they're going to be pater. Why should that be pater if when I write one letter in Teveria and one letter in Tzipori, that is going to be chayv? So the Gemara answers, Hasa mechusar ma'isa dekreva, hacha lo mechusar ma'isa dekreva. There's a difference. You see, what the difference is when it comes to writing one letter in Tzipori and one letter in Teveria, so now that the letters have been written, what else needs to be done? All that needs to be done is taking those two letters and bringing them together. That's all that has to be done. All that is missing is mechusar kreva. But conceptually, the two letters might be related to each other. You just haven't put them together. That is case number one. That's v'yechayev. But if you write two letters on two opposite walls that are attached to the ground, what do I have to do to bring these two letters together? Just a maisa kreva? No. First, I have to knock down the wall. It's mechusar maisa. I have to knock down the wall, extract the letter, then bring them together. That is already, once I have to do that much, then by definition you can't tell me these two letters are related to each other. The letters, when it comes to the Yisur Dorais of Kotev, Shtei Osios, the letters have to bear a relationship one to the other. If they do not bear a relationship one to the other, or they don't yet bear a relationship because I have to do a maaseh, I have to rip them off the wall to bring them together, so that already is going to be pater, because I haven't written conceptually related two letters. I wrote one letter there, but they're not connected to each other. If they're adjacent to each other on a same wall or in a corner situation, so one is read together with the other, that's two letters. Two connected tablets, that's two letters. But once I'm a chusar maisa and kreva, that's insufficient. So the Gemara says, however, le'inyanenu, if you write one letter in Teveria and you write one letter in Tzipori, far apart from each other, Since all that you need to do is bring them together, that's all it's lacking, so you're chayiv. You wrote 2 letters, and you're chayiv even if you didn't bring them together. You don't have to bring them together. The bottom line is they are related, and you don't need to do anything to relate them to each other. Therefore, that's considered to be an Isser D'Oraisa you're chayiv. Come along the Rishonim and the Poskim, and they want to medayik the following idea. They indicate that if all that, what you see from this Gemara is bringing them together, that's not part of the malacha itself. It's the writing. And therefore, by the same token, if before Shabbos, for example, you have a letter written in one locale and another letter written in a different locale, and on Shabbos